Hello, I'm back for another video. My name is Josh Kasich, and today, well, this is a re-upload slash new version of the video I uploaded yesterday, because there was a lot of flaws with that video. I just didn't like it. There were some things that I accidentally forgot to edit it out, and that got uploaded. So today is going to be a double upload with this to just correct the mistake of that video. So this video is my Marvel's The Gifted review. Now, I don't remember if I talked about the first season in this video called my Marvel review, which is basically all the movies, TV shows, everything, not just the MCU, but everything up to that point, or the ones that I've seen, at least for TV shows wise. I've pretty much seen all the Marvel movies, except for Blade, Punisher. Those are rated R. I haven't seen that. And Deadpool. I think Deadpool was out by the time I uploaded that video. I have not seen Deadpool. Now I technically watch Deadpool now, and Punisher and Blade, but I haven't really gotten the chance to. And I'm not really, I don't know, I can't really watch Logan because, I know how many people say it's, I don't know if I can watch any of these movies for that matter. I can't stand blood. I can't do it. I can for if it's a little bit of blood, or if there's a lot of blood, but not everywhere, maybe just a few scenes, but not really. I can't really stand a lot of blood. I can stand a little bit of blood, but not a lot. So I don't know, I think all these movies really have a lot of blood, especially Logan. I heard Logan's really gory. I probably cannot watch Logan without being grossed out. It'd be hard for me to enjoy a film that I get grossed out. It's not gonna happen. But back to The Gifted. So The Gifted is about, it's based on the comic book series The Gifted, and it's supposed to be about the Strucker family, but the show itself, I think, has more than just what The Gifted is. I could be wrong, I never read those books, but that's my honest feeling about that, because it doesn't focus on that family, but it doesn't actually focus. There are certain points where it's not really focused. It has more than one main character. So what really happens is that you have Reed, Strucker, his wife, and his two children, Lauren Strucker and Andy Strucker. There was Andy Strucker and Lauren Strucker were at a school party when some bullies started bullying Andy. And that's when his powers reacted and started kind of shaking the building, like the room was coming down. And basically, Lauren went in there to help, and she actually had powers for a longer time, or knew that she had powers for a longer time, and saved her brother. And they thought they were safe, no one knew that they had powers or anything of the sort, but they did get found out by the Setinal Services. Now, the Setinal Services were created after, basically, there is an event that kind of kickstarts the show, but they don't really go into details with the event. They don't really explain what it is. They do eventually explain what it is, but it's over time. It's not exactly set right at the point. We just know there was a big explosion. But what really was is that I think it was a protest event of mutants and stuff like that, and something went wrong, and mutant powers went off, and people got hurt. And so basically the Setinal Services were created to hunt down mutants that break laws. But really they went after all types of mutants, honestly. It was basically, I guess you could say they're racist to mutants, if you want to go there. But so they went after the Struckers. Now originally, Reed Strucker is actually is who puts mutants into jail. Like, not physically, but like he's like a lawyer, I guess, stuff like that. Yeah, something like that. For mutant stuff. But now, now that his children have mutant abilities, he kind of got rid of that idea because he's a father and he wanted to protect his children. And they went on the run, and they found the Mutant Underground. The Mutant Underground is specifically the show is based on this specific group of the Mutant Underground, but the Mutant Underground is actually multiple groups making one big organization, and you have a bunch of leaders, which there's a huge something tragic happens to the other groups, or specifically the leaders, that happens in the second season, but that's for a later point. Now, what really happens here is that but right now, so they find the Mutant Underground. Right now, it is made out of several mutants, but the leaders, or the main characters of the Mutant Underground, are this guy who can basically he could touch the ground or touch things, and I guess hear people or sense people far away or close. And then he has really endurable skin. I'm not sure if it's strength that goes into strength. I don't remember if it goes into strength, or it's just he has endurable skin, so he could take on bullets and stuff and all that type of stuff. So it's definitely, his skin is hard. It could take on bullets, but I don't know if he was strong too. I don't remember. I don't know. It was because I've been reviewing this season, like the second season, and like a while ago, so it's hard to remember things. And the reason why I redid this is because I've been forgetting names. But I did, while writing the description, I did some research and actually figured out people's names and stuff. Except for I probably should have done more research and figure out the names of the underground. But I did. Except for, and then you have a person could control, well, not just light, he could light things, he could light rooms, or he could make lasers, like, all from his hand, or he could heat things up. Now he is dating, or sleeping with, a girl who's the offspring of Magneto. She goes by, or her name, or her hero, or hero name, something like that, is Polaris. Polaris, yeah. And the only name I actually remembered of the underground when I was doing research here. But so she is basically the offspring of Magneto. She can control metal just like her father. But we didn't really know that she's the Magneto's daughter until second season, really. But the only weird part about that is that I don't know how the mutant gene actually transfers, how it works. Obviously, children of mutants have the mutant gene because it's, genes you get passed down. Although, there's also a case if you marry a mutant, that there's always a classic case that you don't get. But I think if two mutants marry and you have a child, then it usually produces someone who has the gene. Now, I don't know how powers transfer, because there's a lot of theories. I've talked to people. I don't think it's exactly set in stone exactly how it works. Now, my thinking of it, yes, everyone has a mutant gene, but specifically the reason why different people have different powers is based on how the mutant gene develops. And it's basically like if you have brown hair like your dad, when your mom has, let's say, blonde hair. It's or whatever, I'm not sure of biology, or you have blue eyes like your mom, or red eyes like your dad, okay, or something like that, if you think about it. But if your genes transfer like that, you're most likely the case she should get the same powers as her father, which she did. However, let's look at Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Their powers are way different than each other's, and they're way different than their father. Okay? Quicksilver is speed. Scarlet Witch is well, it's not magic, like dark magic. What do they call it? Red. It was a dark magic. I think it was dark magic. Possibly dark magic. I don't know. Just going off that. Some type of magic. Which are nothing like their dad. And unless their mother had like two different powers, which I have no idea. I didn't read up on that. From what I've read, no. I don't even know if the mother had powers, but we definitely know it's from one mother, because they're both Maximoff. Both the last names Maximoff, and that's not Magneto's last name. That is obviously because Magneto didn't marry this person, or they separated, or obviously I don't think he even knew about them. Especially that's kind of how the Fox thing took it with Quicksilver. He doesn't know. And so usually a lot of times when that happens, when the mother takes the children from the father before he even knew, and before the children ever met, she usually gives her last name to them. And I think that's what happened here. But yeah, I don't see, that's kind of weird. Like, I don't know how, I don't think it's really set in stone of how the genes work. It could be that sometimes that if the gene passes perfectly, or like the same exact as the father or the mother, you will get their power. But let's say it didn't pass fully. Let's say it didn't fully, then the mutant gene will develop into specifically your own power, something new. That's my only take on it. That's my theory. Although it probably isn't my theory, because probably already people discussed this before. I don't know, but that's what I'm kind of going with for my way of thinking about it. But of course the MCU can go, since now they're going to eventually get the X-Men, they can have an explanation for that if they ever do. Since Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are already in the MCU, except for they killed Quicksilver in Avengers Age of Ultron, so that basically Fox and Marvel would have a deal where, okay, well, we both right now both use Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, but I feel like that's weird if you have one, if you have both, and then we start having both, so let's make a deal. We'll give you one, we'll let you permanently have one, while we'll permanently have another. So they killed Quicksilver off for that purpose, and so that Fox can mainly only have Quicksilver, and Marvel can mainly have Scarlet Witch. explains why Scarlet Witch is not in the Fox thing and why Quicksilver is dead in the MCU. It's easier that way because if you think about it, it'll leave people confused, especially, well, not me or any huge Marvel fan, but those casual viewers will get confused. Even though they really shouldn't if they were actually smart, but it makes sense the way they did it. Okay? So yeah. That's where they went with, but now the Fox is over, so I don't know if they're going to bring back Quicksilver. I think they'll just leave him dead. Most likely, they're probably just going to leave him dead. But, you know, a lot of people like the Fox Quicksilver, so especially in Days of Future Past. But, I mean, it would be cool to bring him back. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they really didn't need to kill him, but I get why they did. But, other than that, yeah, so we will see what they're going to do with that. Now, Scarlet Witch and Vision are getting their own TV show on the Disney Plus, so I have no idea if we're going to see Scarlet Witch in the MCU. Well, the show is placed in the MCU, but I don't know if she's going to be in any more movies. I mean, if you're adding the Mutants, I would think you want to have the first mutant, or one of the first mutants of the world, because Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are mutants. They didn't actually say it, but they're mutants, and it's obvious. There's even a book that came out that's part of the MCU that kind of states it without actually saying it. They said that the Mind Stone didn't give them the powers; it activated something in them. So my theory for how the mutants are coming into the world, basically, if the Mind Stone can activate the powers, then the whole snap, basically, with all that energy going over the world, which is stated in Endgame that you can sense the snap's energy all over the planet, that's how the mutant gene's going to be activated. Everyone's going to bring back, but that energy is going to that's flowing, the infinity energy flowing around the planet is going to activate people's mutant genes. That's my theory. I'm probably wrong. They could always do something else, but I think it's most likely how it is. The only problem with that is that you really have to change a lot of mutants' backstories, and which is probably may not be a good thing, but also may not be a bad thing, because obviously they're going to have to do something different than the Fox, because the Fox X-Men, however, very continuity. The backstories are very somewhat taken from the comic books. Not very much, but like, for instance, Magneto's background, all that. But if, for instance, they change backstories, if they change it up with this theory, if it happens with this theory, that means Magneto's backstory cannot happen. I mean, yes, he could theoretically still be a Jew. No, he could still be a Jew. He could still be growing up Jewish and being caught by Hitler and the Nazi. But then the story of his powers wouldn't work, because the reason why he was pretty much, what happened was that his parents were taken away from him, so his powers activated, and he kind of was breaking out a gate, and one of the Nazis got him, and now he was using his power. So basically, I would think that Magneto would have possibly died like with the rest of the Jews. He could live. There was a lot of Jews that did live. But there was a possible, one of the reasons probably why he lived through that event is because of his powers. But the problem with that is that the mutant genes did not work. If the mutant genes did not activate at that time, which they obviously can't because these movies are now taking place and during this year. The movies take place relatively to the year they come out, even though MCU movies can't do that anymore because of the 5-year jump. So movies can't take place in the year they came out. So pretty much the end of the Endgame takes place around 2023, 5 years, 2018, 2019, give or take. But yeah, that's my real theory. But I kind of went off in a tangent. I went really huge on a tangent, didn't I? Yeah, let's go back to The Gifted here, because that's what this video is about. So what happens is that, so they found the Mutant Underground, which Mutant Underground helps mutants, rescues mutants and gives them a place to live. And mostly, sometimes they chant to Mexico. But eventually it's really, the first season is about the Mutant Underground, or this specific group. Now there's another person that joins the Mutant Underground, that the Mutant Underground rescue. This person basically kind of has cat-looking eyes. She's has purple hair, and her power is to open portals, but only to places she can see. And she can open portals, and people can go through it, and this signifies the portals are purple. So now the whole the whole first season is the struggles against the Setinal Services, and that's pretty much the struggle of the first season. Now, the second season, the struggle is basically, now you have, or near the end of the first season, you have this group called the Hellfire Club, who basically is run by this very weird lady. Sorry about that. I took the opportunity to turn up the lighting a little bit. This weird lady who thinks it's a good idea to wear black and blue makeup, black and blue lipstick, my bad, which is disgusting. I'm sorry, but red should be the only lipstick. In my opinion, there shouldn't be any makeup or lipstick, because everyone should be happy with the way they look, and they shouldn't care what other people think, especially women. I'm telling you right now, so you guys understand, I believe that everyone is beautiful the way they are. Sorry about another lighting thing. Back to what was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't think putting makeup is they're beautiful the way they are. All right, so that's my honest opinion here. So back there, yeah, no, blue and black lipstick just does not work. I mean, I don't care if you're goth or whatever. I mean, goth does not good look. I mean, you can wear black. I don't have a problem. My favorite color is black, and a lot of times I wear full black. Wear black, like clothes. My shoes are always black in coloring, because that's the shoes. But black's my favorite color, so I don't care if I wear full black. But like goth is a little too much, if you ask me. That is weird. But whatever. Let's get back to on the topic at hand. She is really bad. She doesn't care who anyone gets hurt, as long as that the mutants take over and are finally at peace. Humans can't attack them or anything like that. And her power is that she yells, that she opens her mouth, and this really loud sound thing. I'm not sure if it's sound or whatever. I don't know what you actually call it. It sounds like it's a sound attack. The room is shaking, but people don't close their ears. I don't think it's actually that. But somehow what it does is it also nullifies people's powers. And near the end of the first season, you had people split because they feel like the Mutant Underground isn't doing enough for the mutants, and they feel like the Hellfire Club is going to. You have Polaris, joins them, and she turns out to be pregnant with the light guy's baby. She joins them. Andy Strucker joins them. And some others join them. And it's like, and so people are getting hurt. The mutant underground leaders join together in this building, and it gets blown up. There's a huge explosion. All the leaders are dead. It's crazy. So then you only have this amount of mutant undergrounds left. People don't know what to do. People are reflecting. People are going other places. And another thing is the guy that has really strong skin and can sense things. He had a love relationship with the Portal Girl. Well, the Portal Girl joins this literal mutant underground. Literally they're like underground, not in a sense that mutant underground. They used to be part of the mutant underground, except for something happens. But run by this guy. What's his name? He starts with an M. He has a big M, and the Morlocks. Right, that's the group. So the group of people underground called the Morlocks, and she joins them. But eventually, so you have this leader of the Setinal Service. Well, he went so far that he got fired. Now, the leader of the Setinal, not really the leader of the Setinal Service, but leader of this group, leading people, his backstory is that remember that event I told you about? Well, his only daughter was killed in that event. So that's his backstory. Yeah, so he kind of hates mutants, although he tries to keep a moral compass. I think he's the only one that really keeps talking about, we only target ones who target mutants who break the law. Although there's times where I don't think he really does believe in that, but there's other times where he really does. So it's kind of weird. But basically, he was let go of the Setinal Services, and he joins this. He kind of joins this group of people just hunting and killing mutants. Who's actually run by the senator, which actually turns out to be working with the Hellfire Club, the leader of the Hellfire Club. So basically, they go into the in one of the episodes near the end. They target the Morlocks underground, and they start killing people. But the Portal Girl, forgot her name. She starts opening a portal and using her friends to from the underground to get everyone out. However, she was the last one out because I was last one there because she's opened the portals. Of course, she has to, and she was shot 3 times, I think, pretty much dead. Like there's no way. And the guy there, he's now kind of he has a kind of how do you call it? He has an emotional, mental struggle because he saw a doll down there, and these people were and pretty much everything. These people weren't doing anything bad. They were just living their lives down here. They weren't targeting anyone. They weren't hurting anyone. They were just living, and you had children down there because of this doll. You could tell it was definitely belonging to a child. That is crazy if you think about it. But said that she died, or did she die? Now here's the thing. So near the end, okay, so one main thing I talked about last episode is that the Strucker family, well, the Strucker family is a actually famous mutant family. Just like the Magneto family, Struckers are huge. See, there was these twin sister and brother, the same powers as Andy and Lauren Strucker. They were bad. Like, I mean bad. like bad. And well, what happened is that there was a scene basically where the sister, she got shot, and the guy was upset because they were supposed to be trying their power. See, Andy's power is to blow things up, where Lauren's power is to kind of put the molecules to make molecules or something, shields and stuff. It's hard to explain. I think she can control molecules and put them, make a shield and stuff. So that's what her power is. But Andy and her power combined hands have a huge power. Like, you're talking about big explosion, huge. I mean, it's crazy. And so their powers come from the twins and the brother and sister. But basically, the brother had a son, I am assuming, because the sister died. Of course, they could have had these children beforehand. I don't think so, though. Well, at least they don't really go in depth with that. So I'm just assuming since the Strucker is the main name, it had to get passed down by the brother. So I assume so. So that brother had a son who turns out to be kind of a scientist, and he marries and had a son. Now his son had powers, but he knew the father here. He knew the legacy of these powers. He didn't want that for his son. He wanted his son to live a human life. He wanted his generations of his family to live a human life. So he found a cure, help with the sister, or at least that's what he thought he did, and he cured his son. And inevitably hoping it would cure the powers throughout the entire family. However, it didn't, because Andy and Lauren got powers. But it turns out it wasn't actually a cure, because in the second season, because of stress-related, Reed Strucker, the father, in this case now, started having his powers come back. But he has no idea how to use them because they've been taken away from him for all these years. And they only come up with stress. And he can't control them. And whenever they activate, his hands light up and they burn or melt anything they touch. So, at the end of the season, to finish this now, Polaris and Andy realized that the leader of the Hellfire Club, she would do anything to complete the goals, to the point where it doesn't matter whoever gets hurt. And so she was basically, while at the Hellfire Club, she gave birth to a daughter, and she didn't feel safe for her daughter, and she kept arguing with, the relationship between her and the light guy weren't at the best of terms right now, because she joined Hellfire Club and stuff. And so she basically gave the baby to an old, I wouldn't say they were relatives, but person who took care of her when she was younger. And so that's where the baby is. And so basically to end this thing, Reed Strucker sacrificed himself. Because since his powers are uncontrollably unstable, the leader of the Hellfire Club, her powers aren't, let's just say, wouldn't necessarily work on powers that are uncontrollable. If the powers are uncontrollable, she can't stop them, because she wouldn't be able to control them either. They're unstable. And so he walks into the building. They were walking to the building, battling the mutants that are part of the Hellfire Club, and he takes an elevator up, and she's the only one left in the top of the building, and basically walks in and says, Reed Strucker, I know of your family. I know of your powers. They're unstable. I know of your powers. They're powerful. You still have a chance to join me. He says, no. And then the guy started coming. He started walking, and she got, well, then you die. And she activated her powers, and the person her powers at first seemed like it was working on him, but then his powers started to activate. They were going all out, getting more stress, more thing, and his powers were getting more unstable and stuff. And he was kind of, although he still felt the pain of the power, he was kind of going to the ground because of the pain, but he got up, start moving closer and closer, and you could see the fright on her face, like, why is it not working? His powers are still working. He says, then his last line was, you wanted my family's power? Well, here now you could have it. And you could just see it explode. The energy flowing right through the room. And right when it touches her, she literally disintegrates. You can literally, right when it touches her, you see her disintegrate. That was crazy. And you could just see the fear on her eyes. This scene was brilliantly filmed. Spot on. Like I'm telling you, this show is literally the best mutant thing, like, ever from Fox on TV. I don't know, I haven't seen Legion, or I think Legion's a mutant show. I haven't never seen that. But this was brilliant. And she was dead. There's no way. And then you see the building, the entire top of the building just melt in a huge explosion. And that ends, well, as we thought. Now, you have the rest, you have Andy, Lauren, their mother, everyone else who, Polaris, the glow guy, the sound. They're walking when a purple portal opens up, and guess who comes out? The portal girl comes out with a nice silver jacket. I think it was jacket, unless the entire outfit was silver. I can't really remember. I'm like, say what now? Should she be dead? Pretty sure she should be dead. She says, guys, please come with me. End of the season. Boom shakalaka. Unfortunately, the show is canceled because of the Disney Fox deal. I wish Disney would at least let them finish the third season and finish this season and put it on their Disney Plus or something. Just give us the third season, please, for Pete's sake. I don't want the show to end like this, but at last it seems like it. I love this show. This show is brilliantly written. It's literally the best mutant thing from Fox, in my opinion, at least from what I've seen. It's literally the best. I know I'm mostly not an X-Men critic, and I like pretty much all the X-Men movies. Much probably people say, what? Why would you like all that? But, in my opinion, best thing written here. I do like the X-Men movies, but this is just, it's just way too good. I love the characters, I love the story. It was just really good, and I can't tell you how much I enjoyed this series. You guys should find a way to go find it, go check it out, go watch it. It's brilliant. I wish it wasn't going to end like this, but it did. And at last, that's what we have to accept. But I enjoyed it. Those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did. And if you're new, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can notify from my next upload. And my YouTube channel website link is down in the description as always. And thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.